So good to be back with you again today doing some of our crafts here at Choice Medical Group. Today's craft we're going to be doing is the cookie plate. And that cookie plate is a very simple craft. All it's going to take is a little Mod Podge, a clear plate. This particular one I got from the Dollar Tree. A little piece of fabric, not a very big piece, and that about 12 by 18 I think is what I have right here. We'll have a little sponge and our scissors. And we'll get started right off the bat. You want to make sure that the plate that you use is clean. This one still has a little label on it, so I'm going to pull that off. Now, take some alcohol or some kind of cleaning solution and make sure your plate is good and clear and that it has no grease on it. That's going to help the Mod Podge and the fabric stick together. The first thing we're going to do with this particular piece is we're going to Mod Podge the plate. Again, this is a very simple craft. We'll start with it on this side. I'm going to use a little jar that I have hiding back over here to help me. I'm going to set the plate on it. This is going to be something that'll make it also easier for you if you have it at home and you don't want to try to hold the plate while you're doing the Mod Podge. And that some of you are going to be perfectly comfortable with that. This particular case, I'm going to pour a little of this Mod Podge into a little container here, just so that I can close up this container and not let it dry out kind of projects. This particular one is really nice because it is simple and it turns out lovely. Some of the Mod Podge you can get is waterproof and you can actually put it in a dishwasher or you can hand wash them. This particular one is not. This one here, when we use the plate for cookies or whatever we want to put on it, we're just going to wipe the plate off when we're done. So candy, cookies, anything like that is perfect. Get a little Mod Podge out here. This also makes a very nice decorative plate if you don't want to use it for anything at all except for decorations. The fabric you use will make that decision for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this and we're going to cover this in a fairly decent coat of our Mod Podge. Real excited about getting back to doing things with you again. We've added a new element to our crafting online, and that is that at the end of our videos, there's a place where you can sign up, or you can come here to our main office and sign up, and that all of our Choice members for a giveaway at the end of our crafts. We'll tell you about these each time, and then you can submit your entry. The entries again can be submitted online. If you don't have that ability, you can come down here to our offices, pick them up, throw them in our little basket, and we'll do a drawing at the end on the 4th Tuesday of the month. We will do a drawing and see who gets to win our giveaway. Now you don't want this, I've got it a little bit, it came over the edge here. You want it all the way down to the edge, but you definitely don't want it slopped up under the edge. Make sure you clean that off if it does get underneath there. Get this nice and smooth all the way around, a good coat. Ah! I think I need a sturdier little jar to put it on than I did. One of the things that some of your fabrics are going to have a pattern and you're going to want to find center on your pattern. So make sure you've tried that out beforehand. Measure where your piece is going to be before you cut your fabric so that that center piece is lined up. And I've got this pretty well coated. I got a little spot over here I want to get. And you'll know if you miss a spot on the edges, and you'll have to go back in And try to dab a little bit of your Mod Podge underneath there. So this fabric has some little birds on it, so it really doesn't matter which way I put it on, because the birds are all going in one direction. It's going to end up that way anyway. But if you had a piece down here that you wanted in center, you would want to make sure that you did that. Center it up real good. We're going to start with our fabric here, lay it down, make sure it's covered. You don't get very long to move it around. And now we're going to start smoothing it. And pull a little, smooth these bubbly areas out all the way down to the edge. I want to get all those bubbles moved out. Have to work kind of quick. The Mod Podge can set up rather quickly. Move that plate around. Some of you may have found that laying this on the table even, or on a piece of something like this that you can pick it up off of easily, worked better for you also. If you especially had an experience like mine when that little jar fell over. And you can feel the little bubbles. I can feel all the way down on the edge here as I'm smoothing this, little creases. If you get a little crease and it just will not come out, just smooth it down as best as you absolutely can. Don't want any bubbles under there, because when this dries, little bubbles are going to show up underneath and the fabric will not adhere as easily to the plate, and so you won't get that pretty smooth look all the way around, right over to that edge. And when you turn this over, some of you are going to see that it's kind of fuzzy looking. It's not as pretty as this plate here. As you can see the difference. You can see some of the mod. Don't worry about that. It is going to dry just like that other plate right there. I'm going to go around this one. Now some of you will find that the Mod Podge you put on was thick enough that it's actually wet. Do not set this down on anything that you are concerned about it sticking to. I'm going to go around and make sure that I have enough all the way to my edge. Pull it up good and tight. Having your Mod Podge thick is preferential to having it too thin. Then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm not going to cut underneath. I'm going to take this. I have a nice spot here to start. I'm going to just cut it even all the way around. Try to keep it even with the plate so that it doesn't cut underneath too much. Probably one of the more simple crafts that we're going to do, but it's definitely one of my favorites in that it turns out so beautifully. I love the decorative item. Yeah. We made one of these for a birthday party, and we made it with a children's characters, that Paw Patrol, for a little boy's birthday party. So you can make them for any kind of event you want. You can use Christmas themes, you can use your Thanksgiving, Halloween, any kind of fabric you want. We just happen to have this one. And that I picked up some different fabrics, Americana look with the flags, the American flags and things. It turned out really pretty. And that's some chili peppers. Again, whatever works in your household. Now this one here, in order to get it a little bit dry before I finish up, I'm gonna use a little bit of my hair dryer that I have tucked back here just to get it to dry a little bit more. And then I'm gonna put some more Mod Podge on this. It shouldn't need much. I just want to make sure that it's well on its way. So now that I have it to this point, I'm going to take and I'm going to do the Mod Podge again. This time I'm going to do it over the fabric. And again, we're going to do this fairly thick. It doesn't even really take a lot of the Mod Podge, but you want to get it all covered, no little areas left undone. If any of you get one of these projects done, or any of the projects that you do, and that if you want to send in us a picture of that, we'll bring one down. We'd love to take pictures of the projects that you've done with us. Yeah, you can come down to the office with it. I'd love to take a picture with you. As much as I enjoy doing these things with all of you, it'd be nice to see some of the results. Again, we're going to make sure we get this all the way down to the edge. We want that sealed well. So that's pretty much where we're going to end up. It's going to be a little bit hazy on the top. Don't worry about it. It's still going to dry just as beautifully clear as this one did. And it'll make a nice addition to your plates and your fancy ware at different gatherings that you may have. Again, I've enjoyed working with you. It was short, but I hope it was a fun project for you.